All right, welcome. Oh man, it's Tuesday already. Holy crap. Oh, I'm always glad for a Tuesday, day off from work, which I always enjoy. I think everyone appreciates a day off. So, yeah, um, my stream for today, I'm going to be trying something different. Normally, it's been, I've been trying to, game and stream some gameplay, but I figured I'm going to try something different today. Yeah. So I set up an account with Ground News. Oh, not sponsored, by the way. As much as I would love to be sponsored, I'm certainly nowhere near big enough for something like that. Coffee. Speaking of ground news, some ground coffee. Oh, okay. I gotta work on some of my mouth animations and stuff, but one thing at a time. I've got working audio and a working stream, so I'll go with this and improve and improve and improve. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm actually using a different webcam today, testing that out to see if it's actually going to make much of a difference for me or not, and I'll kind of go from there. Honestly, I'm not seeing too much of a difference myself, but yeah, no. It is a lower quality camera than the one I was using before, so. But anyway, so yeah, today is I set up an account with Ground News. Just gonna go over some of the headlines and stories, read through them, see if we find anything interesting, and maybe pop over to YouTube, move for a video or two, see if there's anything worthwhile watching. So I hope everyone's week's going all right. I mean, it is only a Tuesday, so we still got a few days left for the weekend. But doesn't mean some of you guys have a bad week. So, all right, enough of me, trying to blab for. Well, let's just kind of over here. Like I said, Ground News. I'm pretty sure most of you have at least heard about Ground News by now. It's a rather popular news aggregate site. So, and one that I actually kind of use too. So it's kind of nice not having to, bounce around. So let's just kind of get into it. And well, oh man, let's just go ahead and click on. Let's see here. Can we just click on one of these just to get sort through? No. All right. Well, I guess we're just gonna. Yeah, I don't have an actual subscription, so at least for this account, I might have to fix that. But we'll kind of see how this goes first. So, oh man, let's see here. Oh, I get 1 out of 5 daily articles. So, wow. Let's see here. Sony officially announces new PlayStation 5 Pro. People can't believe the price. Oh, yeah, I just saw something like this. Let's see here. So we got Madrid, Spain, UK, Variety, Engadget. The Sun, Der Standard, Deutsch, WinFuture.de, Eurogamer.net, Eurogamer.es, Noctius Au Minuto? God, I'm pretty sure I completely butchered that. I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry about that. Let's see here. IGN. That's your Techno Codex. And Hardware Lux. Oh, what article? Which site do we actually want to... Let's see. Let's just kind of go over. Let's see here. El Mundo. Sony announces PlayStation 5 Pro at a price of almost 800 euros. This is what it offers. Sony officially announces new PlayStation 5 Pro, and people can't believe the price. Alright, let's see here. The Lad Bible. Variety. Let's see here. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do the Engadget article. Alright. So, Engadget. Sony looks to set... Alright, brain, mouth. We need a little bit of coordination here. You are actually reading out loud. This is something I haven't practiced in a while. It's been a while since I've actually had to, read or give a speech or anything. So, give me a moment. And a bit more coffee. Good cup of coffee is always satisfying. All right. Sony looks... God. Oh, boy. Okay. Let's take this from the top one more time. Sony looks set to announce the PS5 Pro today in a strangely short live stream. A 9-minute PlayStation presentation from Mark Cerny will focus on PS5 and innovations in gaming technology by Chris Holt, contributing reporter. And that was dropped, let's see, that's the 10th, which would be today. Yes, it is the 10th. I'm not, completely oblivious to the calendar. Yay! Alright. Let's see here. Update. September 10th, 2024 at 11:33 p.m. Eastern. Sony has officially revealed the PlayStation 5 Pro, which arrives on November 7th for $700. Our original story follows below. We likely won't have to wait much longer to get all the official details on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Sony has announced the PlayStation 5 technical presentation that it will stream at 11 a.m. Eastern on September 10th on the PlayStation YouTube channel. We will go check that out here in just a second. Oh, look, there's the video right there. That's all right. We'll go to the actual YouTube page. We likely won't have to wait much. Let's see here. All indications point towards this being the official unveiling of the PS5 Pro. Mark Cerny, the lead architect of the PS5, will host the stream, which will focus on the PS5 and innovations in gaming technology. This comes just a few days after Sony teased a redesigned PS5 in an image that lines up with various PS5 Pro leaks. It was also expected that the company would unveil the PS5 Pro in mid-September ahead of the holiday shopping season. Add all that up, plus a tagline that reads, "The journey continues," in a teaser video, and it's pretty clear what's in store. For what it's worth, Cerny detailed the PS5's specs from behind a lectern in the 2020 live stream. Sony had to pivot from a planned game developers conference talk after the vid took hold. The PS5 Pro rumor mill suggests that the mid-cycle refresh will deliver improved and consistent frame rates at 4K resolution, as well as an 8K performance mod in supported games. Game rendering is said to be 45% faster than on the standard PS5, while the Pro's ray tracing capabilities are reportedly 2 to 3 times faster. Let's see here, PlayStation tweet. Tune in tomorrow for a PlayStation 5 technical presentation hosted by Mark Cerny. And let's see here. All right. Here we go. Sony unveils its PS5 Pro console, which will cost you a whopping $700. The company wants to make the choice between fidelity and performance modes more negligible. All right, we'll read one more article here, then we'll go to the actual official Sony announcement. Sony has actually no. Let's go ahead, pop over to the PlayStation. Let me put my headphones on because I don't actually have them on at the moment. The next leap in console gaming. Can we get it in a slightly higher resolution, please? Let's start this over. And, you know, fidelity that doesn't make the eyes bleed. Ew. The next leap in console gaming. Okay. Enhanced with special effects and pretty graphics. PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. Feature only available on select PS5 games that have been enhanced for the PS5 Pro. When compared with PS5, PS5 Pro enhanced features will vary by game. Alright, yep, more frames. Yep, advanced ray tracing. Ooh. Shiny. Alright, let's go back. Now, I'm not going to lie. That is actually a really nice looking console. You can say whatever else you want to say about the PS4. The PS4. I was about to call it the PS4 5. See, I'm still doing it. My brain is still on PS4 Pro. Because that's what I've got sitting in front of me at the moment. Oh, man. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I may want to use the other camera because it seems to pick up my facial expressions a little better. But that's why I'm testing out these cameras. And that's why I'm doing it during, you know, not a very serious live stream. But I'm not going to lie. I actually always liked the design of the PS5, the PlayStation 5. I have. I think it is actually a really nice looking console. And now with the black accents right there, I think that honestly looks really, really sharp. Now, if I remember right, the original PS5 had something like basically equivalent of like a 6800, Radeon 6800 in it, or 6700, which explains the weak ray tracing performance. As someone who's currently rocking a 6600 XT, you know, ray tracing has never been exactly something I got to enjoy a lot of. I mean, I can do it at very low settings, but I have to also tone down the other graphic settings too, which really kind of sucks. But if they're saying it's got better ray tracing performance, I wouldn't be surprised if they bumped it up to something along the lines of like a 77, or maybe, I don't want to go so far as to say they put like a 7800 in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's got like a 7600 in it or something like that. You know, the next gen up. Like a 76 or 7700 XT in there. But now, my real question is, are they going to be dropping the price on the original PS4? Here we go. The technical presentation. Let's get to that.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny.
Hi, Mark.
I'm to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup.
Really?
PlayStation 5 Pro,
I hope so.
And how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
All right, this should hopefully answer answer what I was talking about.
When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second.
Yep.
PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2
2
GPU, which
GPU.
can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination.
Ooh.
Custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed.
I'm not gonna lie. I do love ray tracing. I think it is an amazing technology that will eventually be the standard going forward. Right now, it is a matter of figuring out how to do ray tracing, and that doesn't actually absolutely kill performance. NVIDIA is focusing with their CUDA cores, or what is it? Their CUDA cores? I think it's the CUDA cores. They love going on and on about the damn CUDA cores. Ooh, Barracuda. Good song. That's actually a pretty decent old song. Anyway, distraction. But whereas AMD is focusing on trying to get the ray tracing done in shaders, which honestly I like AMD's approach better, because getting the ray tracing done in shaders, I am really drifting around here. Will also allow it to be, there we go. Will also allow that technology to be used across various tech platforms and not lock it behind hardware. So, you could take, the latest and greatest ray tracing technology and maybe, find ways of tweaking the software down to make it more compatible with like older hardware or different platforms. So I think AMD has the better long-term approach, whereas NVIDIA is just focusing on creating a technology to sell more hardware. And, well, Ingredia. But anyway, back to the presentation.
Resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are.
Okay, that would be pretty impressive.
Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game.
I'm not gonna lie,
It's
I would
wonderful to see
love.
such variety and richness.
I have not really actually had a chance to really play a PS5, let alone really experience that haptic feedback on that controller. And from what I understand, that is a pretty damn impressive thing. But it is something I would absolutely love to try.
Of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier, and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the
All right. We're going to pause here again because I do want to actually talk about this for a second. Okay, so performance versus fidelity. This comes down to this. Oh my God, this actually comes back to a topic that's about as old as gaming itself. How important are graphics? Honestly, nowadays graphics are nowhere near as important as they used to be. I mean, okay. Let's see here. You had the original, like the games like the Atari, which were just big, massive blocks. But they had some really fun games with really good gameplay. So gameplay will always trump graphics because you can have the prettiest game in the world, but if the gameplay sucks, what's the point? And gameplay will go a long way to overcoming other deficits like lower graphics fidelity or maybe some like performance issues or well, I don't know, performance issues is not the word I'm looking for, or not the term I'm looking for anyway. But yeah, then you had the NES, which had way better graphics than the Atari. You could actually make characters out, and they actually kind of looked like something, but still, honestly, a little kind of blocky. And then you hit what I consider the peak of 2D art, which is the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. I was a Super Nintendo boy. I was a Nintendo boy growing up. The Super Nintendo is my absolute favorite console. I fucking love that console. Because, oh my God, it just looked so pretty. With all the 2D art and sprites and stuff. Mwah. But then we jumped to the 3D. And, well, if you remember early 3D games, unlike the PlayStation and the N64 and the original Xbox. Wait, I think the Xbox was PS. Yeah, I think Xbox came around right around PS2. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh my God, man, you had the original PlayStation, the big blocky 3D characters. I think we all remember that. But what I'm trying to say is that yes, gameplay will definitely trump graphics, but and you can definitely get away with a lot less graphical work if the gameplay itself is solid. But that being said, if the game's just, if you can't actually make anything out and the game just looks absolutely horrendous, that's not going to help either. So, but wow, I am really just fucking rambling. Okay, let me get to the point. So, modern graphics, honestly, graphics for the past freaking like 10 years have honestly been good enough. They really have. At this point, it's just been getting graphics cards to pump out, 4 and 8K, and then the big leap right now is ray tracing. And yes, a lot of people, really, shit talk ray tracing. Oh, it's not needed, blah, blah, blah. No, ray tracing is the future. It's just, they tried to implement ray tracing in the new consoles way too early. The technology just wasn't anywhere near baked enough for them to really be trying to push it. The PS5 and the Xbox One. Is it the Xbox One? Or is it the X? Or is it the X1? Or, the XOX? Or I don't even fucking know. Seriously, Microsoft, fix your fucking naming scheme. Because you went from Xbox 360, because it was a complete turnaround or whatever. You should have just went with the 360, 720, The 1440 and the 2880. You should have just stuck to resolutions. At least then we would have known what actual fucking console we're talking about. Whatever the latest fucking Xbox console is. That is sad. That is how utterly irrelevant the Xbox console is right now. It's just fucking when you can't even recall what the fuck it's actually called. Oh, man. Oh, man. That is horrible but funny. But, yeah, anyway, what I was saying. Ray tracing technology in the consoles was just way too early. It was completely underbaked. And these are consoles. These are going to be even more underpowered than what the best you can get. Or actually even, middle of the road for, PCs. Well, actually, a game console is about a mid-range PC generally. A mid to low-range PC. Well, I'd say about a mid-range PC. And they would have just been better off for going ray tracing this generation and just focusing all of that graphics power into pushing the pretty graphics and better performance. But here we are. But anyway, let's let Marky Mark here.
Graphics that the game creators aspire to at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the Big 3 involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro.
All right.
It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
Okay, good.
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier. This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5. Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5. Both of which target 60 frames per second.
Let's see.
What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
See, isn't it funny that they shrink the image down when they do the comparison? Isn't that funny? It's almost like they're trying to make it a little harder to actually compare the images. But I mean, yes, obviously the Pro side is definitely clearer and more detailed, clearly. But I'm just finding it. I'm finding it. It's definitely amusing, and it almost makes you a little question just a little bit about why they do that. But let's continue.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars. So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the Big 3 showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost,
Wow.
that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects, as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Okay, that's honestly pretty impressive. I mean,
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference. Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their
Ooh.
targeted 60 frames per second.
okay, yeah.
Boost in ray
Oh,
tracing
that is
also
pretty
delivering
nice.
Big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not
snap.
only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
All right, before we finish up this video and get into that, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, those are actually pretty. That was actually pretty impressive. I mean, of course, this is a curated, video to talk about a product they are releasing. So, I mean, of course, they're gonna do everything they can to make sure it looks their absolute bestie best. But if the rest of it pans out, it is pretty impressive. But here's my real question. Once again, when are prices going to drop for the original PS5s? Because that's been the entire problem with this entire console generation, is that the base prices have not come down at all. Every other console generation, you had your initial, launch, high launch price, and then within like about a year or so after, everyone who had the money and was excited to get it right away got it. That they dropped the price to continue pushing sales. We have not seen that in at least this generation at all. Well, actually, I think the Switch has come down in price some. But the PS5 and the Xbox, they're just no. And they wonder why, and that's one of the reasons why they wonder why sales aren't, doing better. People can't afford the consoles. Everyone who can afford the console, who wants one, has one. And everyone else is sitting here, trying to figure out how. It's just like, yeah, no, it's too fucking expensive. Especially now when you can drop, that $600-700 and build yourself a PC that will easily perform as good, if not better, than the consoles. So it's that's the other thing, both Sony and Microsoft need to really be thinking about here. Oh, there we go. I had to stand up and stretch. Honestly, the more and more I use this motion capture software, the more and more I'm really liking it. But anyway, on to my pricing rant again. Seriously, the console prices have not dropped from their initial launch prices, and that is a big problem. Because, normally you'd see like a big discount, and within like 2 years, the console would be like half the price and people would still be buying them. That's one of the reasons why the PlayStation and the PS2 sold so well, is the prices dropped, and more people could buy them on the cheap. Well, of course, it also helped that the PS2 also had a built-in DVD player and made it one of the cheapest DVD player options available at the time. But still, the price kept coming down. Anyway, let's finish the video.
You'll never break a legend. 'Cause they don't know we are love. We're legendary.
Don't let me hang it.
Shiny! Final Fantasy action.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
Demon Souls. Some more Ratchet and Clank.
What's with all the neon?
Wobbly ones! And more racing. Oh, that looks dangerous. All right. Available November 7th. $7.99, $700 US. $700 British. 800 euro. And 120,000 yen. What? Is that yen? I thought yen. I always did yen as a roughly 100 to 1 conversion to the American dollar. But clearly that's that is no longer the case. PlayStation. All right, look, that ends that. Okay. All right, let's hear. Let's see here. Yep. All right, we can go. So yeah, that's the big news. There's PS5. So that was kind of interesting. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and click back on the forward view. Let's see here. So let's go. Let's keep scrolling here. So what do we got? We have. So let's see here. All confirmed PS5 Pro enhanced games coming to the Sony console. Alright, let's just... No, I don't want to subscribe just at the moment. All confirmed Games Radar. Alright, Games Radar. What do you got for us? See all... Okay, that was kind of useless. Let's see here. Oops. Alright, let's just get back for you. Alright. Let's see what other headlines we got here. Okay. My feed. Let's see here. All confirmed PS4 enhanced games. Yeah. Spider-Man 4 finally has a director, and you won't believe who it is. Daniel Cretton. Okay. I honestly haven't cared about Marvel films in some time, honestly. what happened to the Marvel movies is the same thing that happened to the comics. You had an easy-to-follow series of movies that came out at a regular, reasonable release, like a couple times, like 2, maybe 3 a year. Like 2 a year. They were easy, it was pretty easy to follow and keep track of. And then we were getting like 4, 5, 6 fucking Marvel movie. Okay, maybe not quite like that many, but we're just getting so many Marvel movies coming out all at once, all tied together, on top of the multiple streaming shows. And it's the exact same thing that happened with the comic books. They just threw out so much content, tying it all together, and it just became a huge, colossal mess. The story quality went down, became real hit or miss, just like the comics. And then on top of that, when you want to get into it, it's like, okay, where do you start now? Because do you start all the way at the beginning at phase 1? With, Iron Man and Thor and Captain America, and then work all the way up through, Endgame, and everything. Then go beyond all that. What can you skip? I'm sure you can skip a ton of stuff, but it's a mess. So yeah, I really haven't cared that much about Marvel in a while. And I hope whenever, WB gets their heads out of their asses when it comes to, DC, I hope they can, kind of get shit together. So, there's my tirade on comic book movies. Let's see here. SpaceX launches Polaris Dawn, going where no privately paid for mission has gone before. It's heading to space on a 5-day mission, not a 5-year one. But Polaris Dawn has some science and exploration adventures that really are in the spirits of the best of sci-fi. Okay, that's cool. Let's see here. Methane emissions are rising faster than ever. I don't care about cow methane. Let's see here. Sony, more PS5. Harry Potter casting opens for next Harry, Ron, and Hermione for TV adaptation. Oh boy, I can't wait to... I'm sure that's going to be interesting to see all the cries and drama about that online. Let's see here. Let's see here. What do we got for any more? Let's see here. Seriously, Sony, you raised the price on the DualSense controller by $5, dickheads. Let's see here. The PS3 is still Sony's most expensive console, adjusted for inflation. But unlike the $700 PS5, it didn't charge $110 for an extra disc drive and stand. Let's see here. BMW cuts profits. Outlook as brake problem triggers recall for 1.5 million cars. I wasn't aware of that BMW drivers even knew what brakes were, so that's actually kind of fascinating. Let's see here. SpaceX launches Billionaire to conduct the first private spacewalk. Okay. Have fun with that. Let's see. Microsoft performs operations with multiple error-corrected qubits. Error correction on quantum machines. Oh, that's good, I guess. Oh, okay. This one looks spicy. Oh, that's fine. Let's see here. Who do I want to read? Eurogamer.net. All right, IGN. Let's give your ass a shot. All right. Ex-PlayStation chief criticized for saying laid-off developers should drive an Uber or go to the beach for a year. Oh, okay. Let's see what this. Oh, some over-entitled executive with more money than sense. All right. Let's see what this is about. The former boss of Sony's European PlayStation business has come under fire for saying video game developers who are laid off should drive an Uber or go to the beach for a year until the industry recovers. Chris Deering, who was head of Sony Computer Entertainment Europe from 95 to 05 and in charge of the business for the launch of the original PlayStation in Europe, appeared on the My Perfect Console podcast to discuss the brutal layoffs that have seen tens of thousands out of a job in recent years. He downplayed the role of corporate greed in the layoffs. Of course he downplayed the role of corporate greed in the layoffs. You know, the company's down 5% and the shareholders are going to have to take a little bit less money. Gotta fire 150 workers and shut down a studio, you know. Heaven forbid the shareholders get just a little bit less money. And had some controversial advice for those who have found themselves made redundant. Of course, coming from a guy who even if he did fuck up, had a golden parachute and could have retired on a comfy multi-million-dollar payday. Coffee. I don't think it's fair to say that the resulting layoffs have been greed, Deering said. I always tried to minimize the speed with which we added staff because I always knew there would be a cycle and I didn't want to end up having the same problems that Sony did in electronics. My Perfect Con. I think the operating part about this is con. God. Chris Deering, former boss of PlayStation, does not believe the recent widespread layoffs in the gaming industry derived from corporate greed and that affected workers should drive an Uber or go to the beach for a year. Oh, yes, go to a beach for a year. People who are living basically paycheck to paycheck can totally have the option of just going to the beach for a year. Hey, Chris, why don't you come down to the beach? You know, me and my friends. We'll take you for dinner. I don't know. All right. Chomp, chomp. Let's see here. Sony's gaming business has suffered significant cuts in 2024. In February, it announced a round of layoffs affecting 900 staff, or about 8% of its global PlayStation workforce. The layoffs impacted a number of PlayStation studios, including Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Guerrilla, and Firesprite. But PlayStation's London studios hit hardest with a notice of closure. Since then, Sony owned Bungie. Let me read that again. Since then, Sony-owned Bungie has also suffered devastating cuts as Destiny 2 struggles to find commercial success. Acknowledging the closure of Sony's own London studio earlier this year, Deering said that the whole studio setup has been run out of Amsterdam now for a few years. If the money isn't coming in from the consumers on the last game, it's going to be hard to justify spending the money for the next game. Give me just a minute here. Just give me a moment. Sorry about that. I'm pretty sure none of you wanted to hear me blow my nose. And, well, for those of you who maybe did want to, sorry, but I'm not going to do that on stream. You will just have to use your imaginations. Let's see here. Drive an Uber or whatever. Find a cheap place to live and go to the beach for a year. God, I love the tone deafness. And then, I think it's probably very painful for the managers, but I don't think that having skill in this area is going to be a lifetime of poverty or limitation. Da 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 da. All right, sorry about the jet flying over. You know, America. Actually, and more than likely it's our Air National Guard. You know, getting their time in the F-16s. Ah, yes. Those F-16s actually look really cool. But anyway, let's see here. Let's see here. And then I think it's probably very painful for the managers, but I don't think that having skill in this area is going to be a lifetime of poverty or limitation. It's still where the action is, and it's like the pandemic. But now you're going to have to take a few, figure out how to get through it. Drive an Uber or whatever. Find a cheap place to live and go to the beach for a year. But keep up with your news and keep up with it, because once you get off the train, it's much harder. But I'm optimistic about the future. For even people who have just recently been laid off, these things do recover, sometimes a lot faster than you might think, when all is very precarious. I presume people were paid some kind of a decent severance package. By the time that runs out, well, you know, that's life. Oh, he assumes they got paid decent severance packages. It shows you exactly how little he actually looked into this matter. Dollars to donuts, these people barely got any severance package at all, and what severance package they did have is already gone to cover actual living expenses while they scramble to find jobs. They're sure as fuck not going to be using it to go to the beach and have a fucking holiday. Because unlike your privileged ass, that just isn't an option. Ugh. We can't just fucking, get laid off, lose our job, and just go fuck off to the beach. And chill until, whenever. God damn. Oh my god. Deering's comments, currently doing the rounds on social media, have sparked a backlash. The Game Workers branch of the IWGB, a trade union that represents UK game workers' rights, tweeted to say, Deering's comments reinforce the importance of unionization. Without it, we're left with let them eat cake. Yeah, this is literally the corporate version of let them eat cake. Oh, just let them take their severance package that I'm sure is really nice, even though I never bothered to actually check what, if any, they got, and just fuck off to the beach and relax. Yeah. Just do what I do after I, quit my job. Just go fuck around the world for, a year or so, and then before I step into another high-paid job. The past 2 years have seen over 20,000 video games industry layoffs as big companies including Microsoft, Sony, and the embattled Embracer Group have not just cut jobs but shut down entire studios. Microsoft closed her Redfall developer Arcane Austin alongside Hi-Fi Rush and Ghostwire Tokyo developer Tango Gamesworks in May 2024, a move met with shock and anger by industry peers and fans. Those cuts were part of an eye-watering 1,900 layoffs at Microsoft game businesses. And, okay, I want to check something here. All right. Let's see here. All right, Reddit. 6 months after release, Hi-Fi Rush reached 3 million players. Fuck off right now. Okay. Okay, 6,000 players at its peak, 300,000 copies sold. Yeah, that's right. Fucking Game Pass. They're, talking about, numbers and stuff. All right. I suppose this is a good time to actually just kind of talk about Game Pass for a little bit. I have Microsoft Game Pass. I actually don't use it that much. I should actually, but like so many fucking games, so little time, But the fact that they released this brand new release game, released it onto Game Pass right away, and they shut the studio down because it didn't sell is fucking ridiculous. What were you expecting to do? Why would anybody actually buy the game when they can play it for as part of their fucking Microsoft Live Game Pass subscription? My God. I mean, seriously, no new release game should be getting onto Game Pass until, at least, I hate saying, like 2 to 3 months at the earliest. At the earliest, 2 to 3 months. To give the game a chance to fucking sell. And even then, maybe, limit the amount of time you can actually play the game for even a couple of months, kind of like a trial thing, just to get people, fat discounts, get people to actually purchase the game. But, alright. Nope, we'll get back to YouTube in a minute. Okay. Meanwhile, Embracer Group shut down Saints Row developer Volition in 2023. Volition. What the fuck? This one really pisses me off. It really does. I was a huge fan of the Saints Row games. And, I might actually go back and stream the old Saints Row games because they are honestly kind of fun. Yeah. I haven't played it, but I've seen some videos and stuff of it. And yeah, it's just fucking... They took out all of the hardcore gangbangers. They took out all the thug gangbangers and replaced them with a couple of gay guy, a gay Asian guy, a gay black guy, and a lesbian or someone else, and all the old saints were dead, and it's like, what the hell? If you're gonna kill off the old saints, at least let us, make the character and have us be part of the story of how they fucking died. I mean, come on. Not just, oh, they're all dead. It's just all new people now. What the fuck? But, all right. Back to the article. Amid these drastic cuts have been a corresponding emergence of unions representing the video game industry. In July, Skyrim and Fallout developer Bethesda Game Studios became the first Microsoft developer to fully unionize. Good for them. Under the Communication Workers of America. That same month, the developers behind World of Warcraft, one of the world's biggest and longest running MMORPGs, officially unionized. And that's the end of the article. Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of these layoffs. It's most of these people get cut because, oh, heaven forbid, some executives and the executive shareholders, have to take just a little bit less money. Oh my God. Oh no, can't afford my fucking third beach house. All right. What other spicy news do we have? All right, some more of that. Okay. Wow, is that really all? Let's see here. Ugh. Here's the thing with fucking Concord. They had 8 years to actually try and build an audience. But instead, they spent the time they did actually talk about their game, literally bashing like actually more like, I don't even know what, like most of the gaming audience by saying this game isn't for us. And if you don't like it, don't play it. And then, nobody bought it or played it because, we were told not to. And, well, On top, the characters were just fucking... Most of the characters looked like they were homeless people who dug through a Goodwill donation bin. I'm sorry. I mean, fucking... If you look at, like, other looter shooters, other fucking games, like, God... Why the hell does Destiny come to mind? It's not the one I'm fucking thinking of. Not the one I'm thinking of. Oh. Yeah, that was a good thing. Fucking actually issuing the refunds. That was. Honestly, I think that was just. I think Sony just realized issuing the refunds was going to be a fuckload cheaper than anything else they could try. So, yeah, just giving back the money just seemed like the best option. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Apple told to pay Ireland $13 billion in tax by the EU. That sounds fun for Apple. Jeff Teague explained how he's responsible for the meme of Carl Anthony Towns. I don't have any idea what any of this is. I don't care either. We're going to just skip it. Let's see here. Regenerative agriculture is sold as climate solution. Astrobot PS5 sales aren't huge in UK, but there's still hope. Oh, that's right. They actually made another Astrobot game. Let's see your AI-powered search startup. Glenn doubles valuation in new funding round. Oh, God. Modern AI isn't AI. Or how people actually think AI should be, but it's just super fancy algorithms. Let's see here. And honestly, it's just kind of a fad. One that NVIDIA is actually kind of coming to the realization right now because their AI sales are starting to slow. Whoopsie. Ooh, what's this? Rare fish found in Connecticut River. All right. I know this isn't gaming related, but hey, fishies. I'm always interested in some fish. Let's see here. Rare fish found in Connecticut River between Massachusetts and Vermont. Researchers at the Connecticut River Conservancy led an ongoing investigation by sampling the waters of Connecticut River across Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire. For the first time ever, they discovered evidence of short-nosed sturgeons in the river by detecting the endangered fish with environmental DNA, according to the CRC's press release. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's actually kind of cool. There's short-nosed sturgeon DNA in the river. That's honestly pretty cool. Good for them. Okay, I really should just open up in tabs so I don't have to keep scrolling back down. Okay. Let's... Former Jeopardy host Miami Bialik teases possible return. I lost on Jeopardy. Maybe. I lost on Jeopardy. Let's see here. Bitmap Books, A Tale of Two Halves, celebrates the digital history of the beautiful game. Let's see here. Party game, Which Way Up? Galaxy Games heading for the Switch in Q1 of 2025. All right, what's this about? All right. Does Astrobot's Super Mario inspiration cross a line? What the hell is this about? Fine, I agree, whatever. Fine, take your cookies and track me. Shut up. Let's see here. Following the embarrassment of Concorde's recent launch and almost immediate removal from sale, Sony has scored a win when it really needed one. Astrobot launched last week to critical acclaim, sitting with a 94 Metascore and being described as a serious contender for, if not the new owner of, Mario's 3D platforming crown. That is a bold claim. If you're out of the PS5 loop and want a little overview, our friends over at Push Square have all the Astrobot coverage you could want. So definitely check out their glowing 10 out of 10 review. I just want to read your article. However, not everyone is quite so taken with PlayStation's new platformer. Or if they are, it's with the caveat that Astrobot has been studying the classics perhaps a little too closely. A video posted by Twitter by Post Up from State of Gaming suggests that the origins of various elements and mechanics from the PS5 platformer can be traced back to one of Mario 3D's adventures. See what you think. Oh my god. Okay, let's... Alright. Let's... Okay. Okay, this right here. Okay, let's... Okay. I kind of want to just go through this video real quick. Let's go back and actually just kind of go through this one more time and actually talk about this. Okay, so we got here... Okay, so what we got here is the Sony devs taking some inspiration from Mario Sunshine with the little jetpack thingy. Okay, I mean, first of all, I'm pretty sure, Astrobot there isn't, filling his pack up with water. But second of all, games have been taking inspiration and ideas from each other since, about the beginning of games. I mean, hello, roguelikes, roguelites, Doom clones, Half-Life clones, Souls likes. And this one was definitely fans of Mario Sunshine. Okay, so I honestly I'm giving them no grief on that one. Okay, so this one right here, was it the Pikmin comparison? This one's honestly kind of a stretch. Aren't those monkeys from Super Monkey Ball? I'm pretty sure they are from Super Monkey Ball. But, the whole, your fellow game sprites grabbing onto each other for a mechanic thing. This one's a stretch. Okay, they were doing this in freaking Donkey Kong Country. Okay, I remember you could actually, if you were Donkey Kong, you could throw Diddy Kong. Donkey Kong Country 2, you could hold on. If you were Diddy Kong, you could hold on to. I can't remember what her name was, with the long blonde hair that you could also play. She did the helicopter tailspin. You could hold on to her to hover glide. And there are other games that did this mechanic as well, and I just can't think of them right offhand. I just don't want to put that much thought into the short of a video. But this is definitely compared to this Pikmin, Sonic and Tails. There you go. Thank you. But this comparison to Pikmin, I'm just not seeing this. Plus, Pikmin is honestly kind of a bit of an old idea as well, because there are other games where you had to collect little guys to do things long before Pikmin. Shit, I think, what was it, like Lemmings? No, the Lemmings didn't actually do anything. Well, you could give them items so they could, try and survive. But this, not even a new collecting little guys, not even a new concept. Pikmin didn't even do this first. So this just, no. Okay, this one right here. Hello, has anyone ever seen, Inspector Gadget? And I mean, come on. Robots, and robot arms having super springy ejecto arms. Come on, this trope is freaking as old as cartoons themselves. But I mean, clearly. But I mean, even for this, this is definitely not a new mechanic. But all right, this is definitely a very close comparison. And honestly, fun game, fun mechanic, also works in other games. So once again, there's really just nothing wrong with it. They took an idea, made changes to it, did some original things to it, and put it in a different setting. Not a real problem. I definitely see the inspiration though, but not a problem. And besides, the Nintendo game that they were, comparing to was just a straight up boxing game. Whereas this, you were actually, fighting enemies and solving puzzles and stuff. Okay, swimming underwater, collecting things. I was doing this in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES. I mean, swimming underwater is not a And collecting things is by no means a new feature. That actually goes all... I mean, hell, the original Mario Brothers did that. So... Alright, this one right here. This right here, the throwing Bowser thing, this was a huge gimmick for the N64 because they were really pushing and showing off the the N64 controller with the 3D joystick. You know, this was actually... We may look at this now and go, oh yeah, that was real cheesy. But this was really just a big deal at the time because this was back when we were still trying to figure out how to actually control your playable characters in a 3D environment. And this was just one of those things to really show off, hey, joystick good. You can do a fun thing with. And honestly, the game mechanic of grabbing something, twirling it around and throwing at obstacles was heavily used even back then. So seeing it in this game, yeah, just not really even a valid criticism. Alright, hidden paths. Really, they're just a Mario game. You know how many games have hidden paths? Dark Souls has hidden walkways over abysses. Alright? This just... Alright, invisible walkways predate video games. Alright, they're ancient ass books. Yeah, chained together. Oh my... Yeah, this just... Alright, old fucking books and stories have stories about invisible pathways. Was Raiders of the Lost Ark? Was it Raiders of the Lost Ark? I'm pretty sure it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Hidden pathway, invisible pathway. So again, fail argument to complain about. Yeah, basically, this is... well, the article is talking about some people complaining... Yeah, this was the actual post right here. Word for word, bar for bar. I think you PlayStation dudes need to chill with Nintendo slander when it comes to Astrobot. Yeah, this is... The article is about some people complaining about Astrobot, quote-unquote, stealing ideas. And this is a supposed video of just the absolute nail in the coffin evidence about this. And right? Massive facepalm. Absolute facepalm. It's this right here. Okay, Splatoon. The whole point of Splatoon was to use paint as a literal percentage gauge to you covered the arena in paint, and whoever covered, the entire most of the area before time ran out won. The whole point of the game was covering everything in paint. This is literally just using paint as another interesting mechanic to reveal hidden platforms. This is actually a really interesting idea from a spark of inspiration from another game. This is, I like this. This is clever. This isn't even necessarily an original idea, but it's a clever one. I like it. Fail argument, again. Okay, bouncy platforms to get over things. Again, this is a very old idea. They had... Alright, you could get bouncy platform. There were spring platforms in the original Super Mario Brothers. No. Wait. Or no, I know Super Mario World had them. Oh man, too many Super Mario games. But no, hell, bouncy. Other games had bouncy platforms. Again, just. Okay, what? Ice World. Robo Boy is in an ice level. What game genre hasn't had an ice level? I'll wait. No, actually, I'm not going to wait. All right, Dark Souls had ice levels. Well, you didn't actually slide around on them, but they were still miserable and shit. But oh my god, this just ice levels is literally a video game staple / trope. All right. And Mario 64 wasn't even the first Mario game to introduce this mechanic. Hell, they have this mechanic back in Super Mario World. With the slippy, slidey surfaces. Actually, I think they had that back in the original Mario. Super Mario Brothers. Now that I think about it. Or maybe it was 3. It's been a long... sorry about that. I should have muted my phone. I forgot about that. Sorry. I actually don't remember. But no. So many games have had slippery ice levels. Just saying that they stole this directly from Mario. Just stupid. Absolute stupid. I was doing this on the regular Nintendo in a game called Marble Madness. Rolling a ball around, obstacles, Marble Madness, and original NES. Look it up. It's actually kind of a fun game actually back in the day. But even more recently, hello, this is even Super Monkey Ball. Hello? Super Monkey Ball? You know? Okay, basic 3D platforming game mechanics. Why aren't you comparing this to Spider-Man? Spider-Man, you know, flings string to swing. Or Lara Croft. She has a swing mechanic with a grappling hook. I mean, Jesus. Okay, he flung something out and pulled it out. I was doing that in Batman Arkham Asylum with the grappling hook. How is... Fail! These are just absolute fail comparisons. Oh, thank God, this abomination of a video is done. It was only a minute and a half. I spent more time ranting and bitching about this fail of a video comparison. Alright, in the video above, clips not only from Super Mario games, specifically Sunshine, Odyssey, 64, and Galaxy 1 and 2, but also Pikmin, ARMS, and Splatoon are shown to illustrate the inspiration Astro Boy devs Team Asabi seem to have taken directly from Nintendo. Of course, developers inspired by each other's work all the time, with a side-by-side compilation Astro Boy clips paired with analogous Super Mario moments certainly highlights the many loving homages to Nintendo's greatest hits. See, this sentence right here, at the absolute worst, everything we saw in that video is nothing more than homages to games that these devs played when they were growing up, that they loved, that inspired them. This was everything we saw was hardly blatant rip-offs. If anything, yes. Yes, this was definitely a loving inspirations. Absolutely that. As you'd expect, replies to the post vary from vague agreement to surprise at how closely they align to total disagreement, and calls that these mechanics have appeared in loads of other games over the years. There's also a bunch of console warmongering replies that we can't repeat here. Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't need to go back into the console war trenches because, well, at this point, PC Master Race. Yep, okay, I said that. Let's see. The point is, fan opinion seems divided between Astro Boy being a love letter to Nintendo's finest works or the game copying Nintendo's homework, word for word. This isn't even, okay. There's definitely a lot of Nintendo inspiration, but a lot of the things in here are things that were just, are tropes and ideas that have been around forever. Oh yeah, Zelda had invisible paths. The Legend of Zelda had invisible paths. I mean, come on. Okay. This whole argument, stupid. At best, yes. No. Those clips, at best, yes, it was definitely some homaging and, a little fangirling. But, I mean, this was hardly blatant ripping off. I mean, come on. Fail argument. Absolute fail argument. Alright. Let's see what anything. Let's see any other interesting headlines. Don't care about Beyonce. Remote surgeon performs on a pig 9,000 kilometers away using a game controller. Okay, that's actually pretty impressive. OpenAI wants to equip ChatGPT with improved thinking skills. Google and Apple have to pay billions in fines and back taxes after EU rejects their final appeals. Oh no, corporations have to pay taxes, the horror. Let's see here. Mbappe? I'm sure I'm absolutely slaughtering that, but fun. Holland and Rodri received the highest score in FC 2591 Messi. Oh, is that soccer? I think that's soccer. The alleged Daniel Fraga returns, and the photos go viral in the Bitcoin community in Brazil. Bitcoin is for suckers. There are only two types of people involved in Bitcoin: con men and suckers. And if you aren't actually running the blockchain, you're the sucker. Sony has recalled this game, but it doubled its value in just one day. Oh, they're talking about Concord. Aftermath of Concord. Hands-on, Apple introduces new iPhones, AirPods, and the Apple Watch. Saw that. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah, the Microsoft planned its major cybersecurity summit after a global IT outage hits 8.5 million devices earlier this year. Yeah, that actually wasn't Microsoft's fault. That was if it's what I'm thinking, that event what I'm thinking of, it's actually a third-party developer's fault for fucking up. But Mozilla keeps Firefox alive on legacy Windows versions with extended support. People using legacy Windows, I don't know what to tell you. Don't connect to the internet. Why are you connecting to the internet? Old Windows bad for on internet. Very, very bad. Let's see here. Because... What? A Kazakh activist has been fined for a YouTube clip questioning government plans for a nationwide referendum on the construction of a nuclear power plant. Let's see here. EU to cut tariffs on electric cars from China. Yeah. Let's see here. Man, I'm not seeing much else for gaming. Yeah, the PS5 looks... Oh, here we go. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse facing creative overhaul. Yeah, I don't see much else for game. News that's, kind of interesting for, either tech or gaming. Apple CEO Tim Cook's deepfake crypto scam hits people during iPhone 16 launch. That's sad. People got scammed, but it's fucking Bitcoin. It's fucking crypto. If you see anything crypto, it's a scam, people. I don't care. It is a scam. You are the sucker that will be holding the bag, hoping for a bigger sucker to come along. But sooner or later, you are going to be the end of the chain. You'll be the last sucker holding the bag. Okay. Honestly, that almost should have been called Zelda Tears of the Boredom. Well, okay, we'll get into that article. Beetlejuice movie. Second Beetlejuice movie. I honestly don't know if I wanted to see it. I liked the original, but I just really don't think it needed a sequel. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see here. Uh-oh. All right. That looks like another interesting article. All right. All right, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to take me a short 5 to 10 minute break. I need to get up, stretch, and rest my eyes, and we'll kind of go over these. I kind of grabbed a couple more interesting stories, kind of go over those, and maybe check out a few YouTube videos, see if there's anything interesting over there to kind of look at. So, all right, I will be back in a little bit. Alright, and I'm back. And I'm back, and I'm back, and I'm back. Alright. Oh, man. I filled my ice water. Yummy, yummy. Ice water and coffee. Well, ice water, coffee, Dr. Pepper. That's all a man needs. Okay. So, I picked up, before I went to break here, I selected a couple more articles as soon as I grabbed the right mouse. You know, multiple computers, multiple mice. Hope you grabbed the right button. Okay. Maybe ground news. I honestly think getting a subscription probably wouldn't be a bad thing, because this honestly is a really good site. All right, let's see here. Let's start with Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse faces creative overhaul and release delay. All right, the third installment of Sony's acclaimed animated Spider-Verse franchise undergoes significant changes and a postponement as the studio is reportedly prioritizing the fourth live-action Spider-Man movie. Oh, is that all this was about? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Into the Spider-Verse movies were actually kind of cool. So, oh man, fourth Spider-Man movie. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Poor Petey. Everyone kind of forgot Petey was Petey. So, all right. So we'll just kind of skip that. That really was much there to that. Nintendo Rose. My Nintendo news. Let's see here. Okay, I think. All right, Reset Era. Let's check them out. Okay. Oh, that's just a forum site. That's fine. No, except. Translate, please. Why the fuck did I translate? Yes. Thank you. All right. More content for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is coming to us in the form of an image. A few days ago, numerous merchandise products were confirmed and the first anniversary products were announced. Now, after the announcement of its physical soundtrack and the recent figure of Ganondorf in the game, this time we bring you information about its Masterworks art book. Okay, this was posted yesterday. Let's see here. It was already announced in the past, and now after revealing some impressive illustrations and its new trailer, we have some interesting statements. They come from this book, where Nintendo has spoken out, among other things, about the whereabouts of Kass. You already know that in the sequel, he is completely missing. Now we have statements about this game's logo. Not long ago, it was confirmed that the game was going to have another title, and now the logo has been explained by Satoru Takazawa, artistic director of Nintendo EPD. The logo is an Ouroboros composed of two dragons, according to Zonin symbology, and represents several things simultaneously. The white dragon, Zelda, symbol of good; the black dragon, Ganondorf, the Demon King, symbol of evil; and the Ouroboros, a classic symbol of creatures eating their tails in the shape of a circle that in this case symbolizes immortality and eternity. No, I don't want to turn on notifications for this fucking cesspool of a site. God. And no, I'm not going ad-free. Fuck you. Fuck you, Zuckerberg. You're the dumbass who bought this site for like fucking way more than it was ever fucking worth. It was on your own damn fault you're losing money. You're not gonna fucking get any out of me. Anyway. Alright, so that was kind of interesting. I didn't actually get the image I wanted, but well, fuck it. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Alright, so they're using Nintendo Life. So let's just use this one. Alright, I'm always up. Mario Party Jamboree. Alright. I'm not gonna lie. The first Mario Party game for the Switch was kind of a disappointment. There weren't that many boards. They actually released another one that had a bunch of boards. I can't remember the name of that one, but I actually kind of thinking about wanting to get this. But let's see about maybe Jamboree. Alright, Super Mario Jamboree is on its way to the Switch this October, and the first batch of previews are now rolling in. You can view our hands-on here at Nintendo Life. Alright, our time with Super Mario Party Jamboree may have been brief, but it was very sweet. It brings the best bits of both the old other Mario Party Switch games into one package. Pocket Tactics. If you're a fan of Mario parties, and especially if you're a fan of Mario Party games, this is for you. It's an excellent party game coming to the Switch library. Destructoid. Super Mario Party Jamboree is shaping up to be a fantastic addition to the long-standing franchise. While fans of the traditional mode should be happy with the game, it has plenty of options to prevent things from getting stale. I want lots of boards. The first one only had like 4 or 5 boards, and it was fucking disappointing. Let's see here. All the learnings for both Super and Superstars into one new Ultimate Party package. Oh wow, it's just fucking clip. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Let's watch this. Fuck you, ads.
Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and quite unusually for
All right.
a Wii preview, I'm joined
All
by
right.
Felix.
Hey, I'm really glad to be here, Alex speaking.
All right, let's just kind of. All right, let's see here. The item shops. I just kind of want to skip through this, kind of see some of the mini games. More mini games. One of the boards. Okay, I think we're gonna have to look into that a little more in depth. So, let's see here. All right. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Okay. Alright, let's just check out the official Nintendo site. Gather your friends, pick a board, have Mario Party. Choose your characters, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Stars from running through merry-go-rounds to motion control, mini golf. There are 7 boards and over 110 mini games to play. 7 boards. Only 7 boards. It's definitely better. Let's see here. Race across party board in Coupilathon series. First 20-player online competition. Man. Alright. Regular Tree Party, King Bowser's Keep, Rollin' Raceway, Goomba Lagoon. Yeah, switch controls. Alright, let's check out the official video.
The latest game in the Mario Party series takes place on an enormous island resort. Get ready to jump into the biggest selection of Mario Party minigames yet in Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Alright, I'm listening.
First, let's see some of the new
I'm
boards
listening.
where you'll compete to collect the most stars. Take the escalators to travel between floors in Rainbow Galleria. Use in-game
Okay.
coins to get a star at half price when they're on flash sale. But act fast. Ride around and stay on track in Roll'em Raceway. With the new Turbo Dice item, you can move up to 40 spaces with a lucky roll. Here on Goomba Lagoon, the ebb and flow of the tide can change your path.
Okay.
And things really get mixed up when the volcano blows its top. Along with 5 new...
Mega Wiggler's Tree Party, King Bowser's Keep, Rollin' Raceway, Goomba Lagoon, Rainbow Galleria,
2 boards from previous Mario Party games make their
Mario's Rainbow Castle, Western Land.
return.
Oh, Western Land! Oh my god, I remember Western Land. Oh, shit. Man, that's like fucking core memory shit unlocked. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. 7 boards isn't horrible. Though, the real question is, do they plan on adding in like an expansion to add some more boards? Because they could absolutely do that. Nintendo, listen to me. You could actually sell like themed expansions like for more boards and just add it to the game. You don't need to create a whole new game. You can just add to them. They are called DLC and expansion packs. And they work. They are a good thing. As long as you aren't charging like forcing us to buy like every mini game separately, then you'd be a dickhead. Don't be a dickhead.
Some mini games are action-packed challenges, speed trials, a battle of wits, and more. And some are controlled by gently shaking or tilting your Joy-Con controllers. With over 110 mini games, there's a wide variety to enjoy. Also, up to 20 players can go head-to-head online in the Coupilathlon mode.
What?
Compete against your rivals and aim for first place. Try your best to come out on top.
Oh.
Wait.
Okay, wait. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so
Up to 20 players can go head-to-head online in the Coupilathlon mode. Compete against your rivals and aim for first place.
okay, so I actually have a copy of shit. What's the game? Oh damn it! What's the name of that game? Our brain work. Fall Guys. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, that's a pretty cool feature. I'd...
Try your best to come out on top.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That's actually a pretty cool feature. That's actually something I'd actually consider wanting to actually try.
Wait, there are even more new modes? The biggest Mario Party yet will soon be underway when the Super Mario Party Jamboree game launches on the Nintendo Switch system October 17th.
Okay, okay. The number of boards still a little concerning for me. I'd like to see a few more boards, you know, like 10, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just being a little greedy here. But, you know, 7 isn't horrible. And that Coupathlon mode actually looks kind of interesting. Okay. All right, Nintendo. Good job. All right. Now, going from some good news from Nintendo, it looks like we've got some bad news for Xbox. Bad news for Xbox fans. And the deadline has already been set. Gaming Deputy. All right, Gaming Deputy. Let's see what you have to say. This year, Microsoft even 3 more Xbox consoles on sale, and 2 of them. What? Hold on. Let me reread that sentence for a second. This year, Microsoft even 3. What is this? What is this sentence right here? This year, Microsoft even 3 more Xbox. When was this article released? Today. Today. Gaming Deputy. I'm not trying to be a dick, but okay, first of all, this pop-up side ad shit, not cool. But more atrocious is this sentence right here. This first sentence. I'm not trying to be a dick, but a little proofreading, come on. What are you actually... Are you trying to say 3 more consoles? What? I don't understand this sentence. Okay. Okay, let's just actually... I'm spasming out on this sentence. This year, Microsoft even 3 more Xbox consoles on sale, and 2 of the models have one thing in common. They are only available digitally and will completely do without a drive. Okay, they're releasing more consoles? Microsoft, more consoles are not your problem right now. Why are you wasting money putting out new consoles for the same supposed generation? You guys seriously need to be focusing on developing some good quality fucking games. Don't release them right away on Game Pass so you can actually get games sold so these studios can stay alive. Or hear me out. Instead of spending the money developing more releasing these stupid consoles, you put that money into the developers, the studios you already have, and keep them afloat so they can keep making games. Seriously, Microsoft, I honestly have no idea what the fuck you're thinking. Oh, okay. Let's get through the article and I will rant some more about Microsoft. This year, Microsoft... Okay, I gotta stop reading that abortion of a sentence. They are only available digitally and will completely do without a drive. With this, the company is once again making it clear how much importance will be placed on things such as Xbox Game Pass will lay. 2 new variants of the Xbox Series X with 2 terabytes and 1 terabyte will be available from October 15th. Will be available. Okay, this is just some really bad sentence structure. On this day, a new model of the Series X with 1 terabyte of storage. Anyone who decides to buy a digital console will have to play games in Xbox Store Buy or just the extensive catalog of X. Oh, is there another version of this fucking article? Because I can't. Yes. Translate to English. Well, I can't. I'm not reading that because I'm sorry. My couple of semesters of middle school German are not going to be adequate for reading an entire article in German. I'm sorry. Okay, I guess back to this fucking article. For real Xbox fans, I kind of... What? Okay, that's an ad. Several times a month, new titles are added to the Netflix-like offer for games added by Microsoft. Incidentally, these are including first-party games from Xbox Game Studios. The directly to launch will be included in the catalog. What am I hearing? Okay. God damn this. No. Stop. Alright. Several. Okay. Incidentally, they're also included. Let's see. Okay. Bad news is Game Pass owners, while this catalog is regularly expanded with new games, disappear. Okay. 6 titles are also being removed. What are they? Let's see. You Suck at Parking, Slime Rancher 2, Ashes of Singularity, Escalation, FIFA 2023, Payday 3, and Spider Tail. Okay, that was oh god, that was a freaking horrible article to even try and read. Let's see, we already did that. Alright, okay, yeah, I think that's just gonna be, alright, I'll see more articles real quick. See if there's anything else remotely interesting. Oh! Okay, what's this? Something about Black Myth Wukong. Let's see what this is about. Yeah, okay, I'm not really seeing much else right now. It looks interesting. So let's see what this is about. A blockbuster Chinese video game sparks debate on sexism in the nation's gaming industry. Oh, Christ. The new Chinese video game Black Myth Wukong is celebrated as a milestone, but highlights claims of sexism in China's gaming industry. Criticism against the game's developer, Game Science, includes allegations of posting offensive messages online. Alright, let's go with the AP. let's see here. Okay. While some gamers are basking in the runaway success of the action-adventure title Black Myth Wukong, others are voicing their complaints about sexism in Chinese gaming and lodging allegations against the game's Sichuan-based developer, Game Science, that has posted offensive messages online. Ugh, hold on. That's my nose is being stupid again. Sorry, no nose blowing ASMR for you. Alright. Critics posted screenshots of the messages of Chinese social media platform Weibo, with one compilation receiving over 40,000 likes. One of the posts that critics say came from founder Feng Ji. Feng Ji? I apologize if I am mispronouncing that. Uses descriptions of oral sex as a metaphor for the positive responses about the game's promotional video. Other examples include lewd recruiting posters. AP was not able to independently verify the screenshots, though gamers interviewed reported seeing the posts. Game Science did not respond to email seeking comment and hasn't publicly commented on the controversy. The criticism reflects simmering anger among Chinese women in the industry who say they have long been targeted by misogynistic remarks and behaviors. Gender inequality is a global problem in the heavily male-dominated gaming industry. Despite making up almost half of the gamers globally, women made up only about 22% of the gaming industry workforce in 2020, according to Women in Games, a United Kingdom-based organization. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, a lot of women like to play video games, but not as many women aren't as interested in actually making them. A lot of women just aren't interested in the technical work behind that. I'm not, not trying to shit on them or anything. It's just, it's it seems to be a preference thing. But all right. Anyway, let's finish the AP article. Skylar Hu, the only woman on her game engineering team of over 20 people, said her male colleagues often posted sexual jokes in work chat groups. Okay, that is just inappropriate. Shouldn't be work chat groups should not be used for sexual jokes. Though I'm actually kind of curious as to what the jokes actually were, because some people are a little more sensitive than others, but still. And she was ignored. Offensive jokes are so common and explicit, U23 said. Phone interview, speaking on condition she be cited by her English name out of concern for safety online. For Jessica Hua, a former video game operations manager, controversy over the game reminded her of the toxic environment she experienced as a woman in the game industry. A lot of people think it's just kidding around, but I cannot accept such misogynistic remarks, said Hua. I take it quite seriously. Black Myth Wukong is China's first ever AAA game, a designation for big budget productions akin to A-list movies. The game made history when over 2.4 million people played the game simultaneously online, breaking the record for most played single-player games on Steam, a major online gaming platform. 3 days after the game's debut, over 10 million copies had been sold. Many in the Chinese gaming industry say they regard the game as a point of national pride, promoting Chinese culture and challenging Western dominance in the industry. There's no doubt this is a milestone in the Chinese gaming industry, said Feng Wu. I hope. Secretary of the Chengdu Cyber Game Industry Association. It's exporting authentic Chinese culture by introducing Monkey King to the world. All right. China, which famously imposed limits on how long kids can play video games and sought to curtail excessive spending on online gaming, has shown full support for Black Myth. The government of China's northwestern Shenxi province collaborated with the game's developer to promote local tourism. State media has also published a series of articles praising the game. Feng Yu, I know I'm butchering that, I am sorry, says he doesn't think the allegations against game science would have much impact on the game's success. Political correctness has nothing to do with the game, he said. We gamers only play the games, and we only care if the game is good and fun. Others say it was only a matter of time before addressing sexism in Chinese gaming culture gained more traction. Most game creators are men. You can see in a lot of games women are used unnecessarily sexy and objectified, says Ashley Lee, a cultural critic and game enthusiast, but I think this will gradually change in the future. We need to give it some time. All right. Now, I've actually heard a little bit something about this little mess. And now, I really haven't looked into it, but what I have heard is that these supposed messages were mistranslations. So, and honestly, considering what a mess translating Chinese to English is, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a horrible mistranslation. However, I am also not discounting that there is probably a lot of blatant, disgusting, sexist things happening inside the Chinese gaming industry. I mean, Jesus Christ. Look at what's happening here in the Western gaming industry with fucking Ubisoft and Blizzard and EA. So, I mean, these reports are absolutely believable that that there would absolutely be problems in an incredibly sexist society such as China. Look, I'm not saying... Look, let's be honest. Asian cultures are definitely way more male-focused than Western societies. And, you know, some people complain about the Western society. So, but... Anyway, before I just dig myself a fucking grave. But... Yeah, no, I totally believe that there absolutely are issues in the Chinese game industry, and there may even be issues within that company itself. The problem is, due to the company being in China and them being able to hide a lot of what's going on away, it's going to be far harder to actually get to the bottom of this, especially when you also have to add on top of horrible translations being done by people hoping to prove a point. But maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe some more and more of this will actually start coming out in the light and public, and there'll actually be some changes in China as well towards this. But time will tell on that. So, all right, all right. Tap to earn. Nothing good. Tech giants. Alright, I'm not really seeing anything interesting in Ground News here. Again, not sponsored by Ground News. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Not now. But I do like their site. Alright, let's kind of scroll through my Twitter feed real quick, see if there's anything interesting. Samsung mobile ads. Here are inflated adjusted prices for mainline PlayStation console since launch. PS1, $611.95. PS2, $550. PS3, $778. PS4 538, the 4 Pro 522, 606, PS5 Pro 700. Now again, I've touched on this before. The difference with like the PS5s and all the previous consoles is, yes, you had these very high initial launch prices, but within 6 months to a year of these launch prices, you would see massive drops in these prices to help push sales. We have not seen that one bit with this generation. And Sony's wondering why sales are slacking. Because people can't buy the consoles. I mean, seriously, at this price, you can buy you can get a PC, a gaming PC, that is going to be as good, if not better, than the console. And you'll have more functionality and more flexibility with it. But anyway, more ranting on that. Oh yes, and I wanted to rant some more about frickin' Microsoft and Xbox. Again, stop closing studios, stop releasing 3 more versions of the console. 3, and 2 of them are pushing to use Game Pass. Game Pass is not going to be the all-in-one answer and solution for you, Microsoft. Developing and selling quality games to push your consoles is what's going to keep Xbox gaming afloat. And this brings me back to the thought I originally had about all of this. I saw a stupid tweet about how Microsoft, some stupid thing about Microsoft buying Valve for like $15 billion. Now, first of all, that's a stupidly low amount to buy Valve, because Valve is worth way more than that. Secondly, if anybody should be buying anything, it should be Valve buying Microsoft's entire game division. All of it. All the studios, the hardware, all of it. Because Valve would actually know what the fuck to do with it. But again, games should not... New release games, especially from small studios, should not be getting thrown right away onto Game Pass. Or even if they do, it should be, you have X number of hours to actually play the game and try it, to actually help push sales. Then after 6 months, a year, or then put it on, full access to Game Pass. You need to give the studios time to actually sell games. There's a lot of things to like about Game Pass, but it's not the end-all be-all solution Microsoft thinks it is. And 3 more consoles, really? How about releasing 1 or 2 more consoles with some more horsepower, but or not wasting the money and keeping studios open so they can produce games for you, games you desperately need. All right. The past 3 weeks for PlayStation in a nutshell. It's so over. We're so back. It's so over. And honestly, this is kind of right. $700 for an improved PS5 Pro. This is what... Again, I ranted on this earlier. The PS5 and the Xbox X should have not worried about ray tracing whatsoever and should have just focused on raw rasterization performance. They get the 60 and 120 FPS at the 1080p to 4K resolution ranges without having to using upscaling. Ray tracing was an underbaked technology when these consoles first came out, and it was and not on top of that, it was underbaked. It was an underbaked implementation of an underbaked technology that was put into these consoles. It was I should have waited for the 6 and the Microsoft head up their ass. I don't know, whatever the hell they're going to call their next console. That's what they're head up their ass with their naming convention. That's an accurate name. But all right, I'm going to like that actually. Another version of that. Nerd and Jock. Wait, what was that? Nexus mod. Oh, yeah. That. Oh my god. Just. The greed is strong with this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Twitter's... Yeah, it's all just going to be about... $600. Hey, that's cool looking, but... Alright, let's go over to YouTube for a little bit. Let's see, I don't have a bunch for subscriptions. Linus Tech Tips, $50 versus a $50,000 computer. Okay. I kind of imagine, actually, I watched that video earlier, so I'm not going to react to that because that'd be kind of dirty. I really haven't done much with for watching on this YouTube channel. Let's see here. Some more LTT stuff. Okay, maybe I should have actually kind of scoped some things out before just kind of scrolling through YouTube. But building the world's fastest Windows XP PC. Exploring used PS2 memory cards. Some Adam Savage stuff. What do I have for subscriptions? Not a lot. I think I'm going to have to fill this out a little bit more. Let's see here. Oh, man. Let's CRT. Oh my god. Mystic. Oh man. That would have. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so that Linus Tech Tips video, I did actually watch that one earlier on my normal YouTube account. And it was interesting. And he basically was saying what I was saying, $500-600, you're going to have a solid gaming PC that'll be equal to or better than any current console. So, is Warhammer 40k Space Marines worth buying? Let's see what Penguin Zero has to say about it.
And it just gripped me. It dragged me in. I'm
Okay.
sure many of you are probably exhausted from me going gushing grannies over the first Space Marine game, which I just played for the first time like 5 days ago, and now this one. It's just so good, and I love the universe. Like, I knew nothing about this going into it. I was basically a Warhammer Cro-Magnon. And now, after completing the game and seeing the credits roll, I would let the Emperor suck from my fucking tits. Like, it is... I've already watched some lore breakdown videos, and I might even get me some of those miniatures. So if you see me begging on the...
No, don't get the miniatures. They're expensive. 3D print them. Games Workshop are kind of dickheads. Overpriced dickheads. Sorry, not sorry. But, okay, yeah, I think... Alright, Penguin Zero. Okay, I think we kind of got your take on that one. But actually...
It just gripped me.
You know what? I'm going to give you a subscription. And then... Let's see here. Let's just type something in. Hey, lo-fi girl. Oh, the Actman. Oh, why Concord failed. Alienated horrible character design, alienated their audience. What was gaming like in the 90s? It was fucking awesome for the most part. I mean, yeah, sure, you had some dogs, but nah, 90s gaming was peak. Don't even need to watch that video. I can tell you from personal experience. 90s gaming, peak. Super Nintendo, oh, peak of the 16-bit 2D era. Our pre-built, okay, David does tech stuff. I actually like this guy, so.
It's been so long since I last covered a mainstream gaming rebuild that since then, pretty much every manufacturer has brought out an entirely new generation. And I don't know if it's all the lead fumes I've been huffing, but from a distance, some of them actually seem a little bit better. But before we investigate...
Well, that's some good news.
Sponsored by Micro Center. Not only did they just open a new store in Miami, but there's a new store coming in Santa Clara. And if you sign up for early access, you can get a free 128 gig flash drive when the store opens. There's also Micro Center's clearance event where you can save big, like on this gaming system. Or if you need help...
Alright, we're...
below.
Alright, we're gonna skip that. Sorry, but... Anatomy of a pre-built.
Now when it comes to gaming...
Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, before he even gets started, I'm gonna actually get in on this a little bit. I hate pre-built computers. I hate them. Oh my god. I hate them because I've had to work on them and fix them. They suck. They use proprietary bullshit parts and weird fucking shapes. They integrate as much crap as possible, so you can't just... They don't give you expansion ports. They're fucking awful. And they're overpriced for... horrifically overpriced for what you get. But all right, David, let's see what you have to say.
Gaming pre-builds, there are two main kinds, OEM and SI. SI stands for System Integrator, and these tend to be smaller companies that use off-the-shelf parts to build their systems.
These are the types of systems you want to go for. If you are going to go pre-built, go with a system integrator. Because, yes, like he said, they use off-the-shelf components, so they're going to be easy to fix and replace and repair.
And they tend to be higher quality, although the key word here is definitely tended to be higher quality, because I've seen my own fair share of dumpster fire SI pre-builds. But then there's the other kind, OEM pre-builds, which come from much bigger
Yes!
companies like Acer, HP, Asus, and because these companies have much bigger...
They are the works of Satan. If Satan... they are evil, horrible products. I don't care. Oh my god. Oh, the proprietary bullshit. Something... remind me of fucking like... Ugh, Satan's anal warts.
R&D budgets, they tend to make much worse products for some reason. Now, if you've watched any of the
Very.
videos making fun of OEM pre-builds like these bad boys here, you'll know that most of them have some combination of 4 common problems. Now, the first of this quadriad of shortcomings is insufficient cooling. Not only do they often not have enough ventilation for cool air to replace the hot air inside, but they'll also use coolers that are small enough to get you laughed out of a bathhouse. And all of this leads...
The airflow in a lot of these cases are the equivalent of someone who has... if you have an asphyxiation fetish, then these computers are for you, because you can asphyxiate your computer as well. Don't asphyxiate your computers. They don't like it. It's a no on their kink list.
to noisy, hot-running systems that often need to slow themselves down so they don't catch on fire. The second common problem is low-quality components. These OEM manufacturers often cheap out on the quality of the cases, the coolers, the motherboards, and this can lead to temperature issues, like we mentioned before, or even problems with longevity. And that leads into the third common issue, which is that these OEM systems tend to use proprietary low-quality parts. And what I mean by proprietary is that they'll use a non-standard...
Yep. Non-standard parts built to the absolute shittiest, the lowest common prices to force you to pay for repairs and replacements.
shape of motherboard or power supply connector or whatever, so that you can't upgrade any of the low-quality components in your OEM system. That's a real naughty issue. And aside from low-quality components, they can also have weird configurations of components, like a single stick of RAM, which is very common and has a
Single 6 of RAM. The fact that that's even an issue nowadays is just disgusting. I don't care if you only have 8 gigs. It should be 2 sticks of 4. Modern processors need 2 sticks of RAM. Stop being stupid.
a huge negative impact on their performance. And then the final very common problem is they just load these systems down with a whole bunch of bloatware, which is unnecessary software that can impact the performance of...
Manufacturer STDs. That's what these are. McAfee, Norton. Oh my God. STD. PC STDs. The only things that PC STDs that you will find worse is off of old file sharing sites, systems like LimeWire and Kazaa. For those of you old enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've probably reformatted and reinstalled Windows more than once on the family computer because, oopsie. Because, you know, you thought that song that you were downloading was actually the song, or that video, and boy, was it not what you thought it was.
systems. But like I said in the beginning of the video, as been a whole new generation of these gaming pre-builds launched since the last time I looked at them. And on first...
Fun story, actually, now that I remember it. This was a long time ago. I actually downloaded something, opened it up, and the ISP at the place I was staying at, where I was living, the ISP actually disconnected my internet service from all the fucking sudden unwanted activity coming from my computer. I had to manually power the computer off, disconnected from my internet, from the modem, and call the service provider explaining what happened, and then to reconnect the internet. God, that was bad. Yeah, no, I didn't even bother trying to fire that computer back up again. It was instantly reinstall Windows.
First impressions, they seem to fix at least some of the problems. So let's go have a look at the market so I can show you what I mean before we have a look at a specific system. Let's start off with the legendary Acer Loser Nitro 50, which is now in like its 4th variant. It looks pretty similar to the one that I have standing on the desk over there, but they've cut a bunch of holes in the front. And these holes are one of the things I noticed that made me want to do a video like this. Now it could be pretend ventilation, OEM pre-builds do like doing that as well, but down here you can see the metal holes through the plastic ventilation as well, so that's kind of promising in terms of airflow. It doesn't show us the inside of it, so I don't know what kind of cooler it's using, but I'm willing to bet quite a bit of money that it's that standard terrible pre-built cooler that they use on everything. Although I've immediately noticed two very big problems that it still has. It's got 8 gigs of...
And the worst part is the default cooler they use is the Intel stock coolers, which suck. AMD stock coolers are legitimately pretty good. If you buy an AMD processor that comes with the cooler, hold on to that, because, you know, I'm pretty sure you probably bought some fancy, fancy cooler, but cooling it. But hold on to that stock AMD one, because those things are actually pretty solid and is a solid backup in case, anything you're using at the moment fails. You'll have a spare something to throw on there right away to still use it, and it will perform pretty good. I have to give it to AMD for, at least designing a solid cooler to go with their products. But OEMs don't use them. They use Intel because they're stuck on the Intel teat.
Standard memory, and that almost always means a single stick of RAM. So that's one of the problems that it still has. And protect your purchase. Oh wait, that's actually not what I thought it was. Oh, that's AcerCare. Never mind. I thought that was going to be McAfee or something. From what we can tell on the website, the Nitro 50 looks like it's going in the right direction. If you go over to the higher end system, the Nitro 70, this has got full mesh on the front, which is madness. No way, did they paint the inside of the case? What madness? I mean, they didn't do it.
What? An OEM manufacturer spent money on paint on the inside of a case for a low, at best low mid tier? I'd say mid tier system.
Particularly well, because through the sides you can still see the bits of silver bucking out. But with the side panel on, it looks painted. Although, look at that cooler. That is not a good looking cooler for a system that has a Ryzen 9 7900.
A Ryzen 9 7900, and it's using that dinky little stock. Oh my god. No. Look, don't get me wrong. AMD Ryzen processors actually run pretty cool. I'm running one in my system. No So, but,
Now moving
Alright.
over to Lenovo. The thing with Lenovo is, even the previous generation of pre-builds that I did a video on, it wasn't that bad. It had decent cooling, decent ventilation, and the configuration was pretty good. And it seems like the new Gen 8 Lenovo systems are just an iterative improvement on that, so it seems like a good option. I'm not going to spend much time talking about Asus's new systems here, because I got one of those for later in the video, but this airflow graphic looks very exciting and maybe marginally less misleading than with the previous gen. Moving over to HP, oh, that is
ew.
not a better looking case. I mean, that case looks like they just changed some branding.
What is this case? Where is the airflow? I see a little bit on the side there. Ugh. These poor cases, these poor components. PC components do not have asphyxiation fetishes. Stop it. Stop projecting. Let them breathe.
And I don't think they even did that for their higher end system. I mean, that's a reasonable looking interior. There's some good things going on here. We've got dual channel RAM. We've got a motherboard that looks like it's standard M-ATX. We've got standard power supply connectors. And at least as far as OEM systems go, a reasonable looking tower CPU cooler. So these are all good signs. And
Okay.
in terms of the case,
That's not
there's
bad.
some front ventilation, at least pretend front ventilation. And the final brand I want to have a look at is Dell, because Alienware has been real notorious for being terrible in the OEM space.
All right. He brought up Alienware. I have to talk about Alienware. Alienware. When Alienware first came out, they were an SI. They were a system integrator. They used top-end components stuffed into cool-looking cases, and it sold for some crazy prices, even for the time. But they were also, one of the they were kind of the system that people wanted. They were kind of top of the line components and stuff. Often they generally reviewed really well, and then Dell bought them. And ripped their souls out. And consumed it. And then drained the body till it was an empty, shriveled, dried husk of a company. And then they stuffed it full of their shit OEM parts. Alienware is a necrotic corpse, animated corpse of what they used to be a long, long time ago. Anyway, back to the video.
And this is what the new generation of Alienware pre-built looks like, the R16. It's a much less...
That's just sad. The original Alienwares were called Alienwares because they looked fucking alien and sci-fi and cool and kind of oversized and ridiculous, but they look like alien spaceships and stuff. This just... I'm just not feeling it. And then the Dell, in the Dell years, it was... okay, just back to the video.
Interesting looking case than the previous generations. I can't see an angle that gives us more information about the slit on the front, so I'm going to assume that it's not ventilation because, well, when in doubt, it isn't. Although on the back, we've got what looks like a 120mm RGB fan, so that's pretty good. Although I can see that the power supply is proprietary shaped. That's not good, because you can't upgrade it. Oh, never mind, it still looks real rubbish in there. Oh, and it's standard 1x16. So they give you the option to, for free, change it out to a dual.
Why? Why would they even consider one single stick 16? That shouldn't even be a thing. It should be 2 sticks of 8. End of story. Oh my god.
Channel stick, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you're gonna get 1 stick of RAM. Okay, so for some of the systems at least, they've gotten better at pretending like the systems don't suck in their marketing material. But let's see how much that translates to the real system.
Ain't that the truth?
I ended up buying the Asus G13 because it was the only one Best Buy had in stock that I had the previous generation one of to compare it to. Okay, so we still get the very acrylic side panel as the previous generation, which, you know, the options are good. And we no longer get e-waste peripherals.
Yay! No e-waste peripherals.
It's so cute. This one's like that one after it's gone through puberty. And apparently pre-built puberty involves growing not fake ventilation on the front, but even some ventilation on the top with a fan behind it. So
Look at that! It can breathe.
But despite these two cases using basically the same tooling, the new one is practically much less offensive to my nerd sensibilities. Now, comparing the guts of these two systems is a little bit more difficult because they're from different price points. Unfortunately, Best Buy didn't have this more entry-level price point available for the new system, so we can't compare them to the CPU cooler, which, according to the marketing material, I'm pretty sure the entry-level version of the current generation still uses this CPU cooler. But in all fairness to the inside of both of these systems, the old one isn't too bad. We don't have any proprietary shaped crap, so just by cutting some more holes in the new case, this system goes a decent way to quelling my standard pre-built instinct of wanting to abandon it in the saddest orphanage I can find. And when it comes to other abandonment triggers like RAM configuration, even the entry level of the newest system comes with dual channel RAM. But it's looking decent for an OEM pre-built. There is a big problem with the spec of this newer one, and it's the CPU, which is an Intel i7-14700F. And if you've been following tech news at all lately, you'll know that that CPU's basically bankrupted Intel because of how explodey it is. So I'm curious to see how stable it's going to be.
F for fail, chat. F for fail. In fail.
And then they paired that CPU with an RTX 4060, an open air cooler because we've got more airflow now, so hopefully this cooler is going to be quieter. But for gaming at this price point, I'd rather take a faster graphics card and slower CPU. Oh, and we also get a power supply upgrade on the new system, which again could be price point dependent. But with that, let's check out the venereal disease situation on the newer system and then see how it handles gaming. Unfortunately, when you first fire up the system, you're still greeted with a healthy spattering of pubic lice. Most of it's a bunch of Asus crap, which I guess you could argue you need to control the RGB.
Hey Asus, I use some of your stuff as well. How about, you know, combining all that software into one package and not have it suck? Instead of, you know, multiple programs that all suck. Can you try that, please? Thank you.
And stuff, but why does that have to be spread over like 4 malignant pieces of software? And of course, there's the biggest, ripest lice of all, McAfee.
McAfee's the lice that carries some other disease. It's supposed to prevent the infections, but it itself is an infection. Don't get McAfee. Or Norton. Honestly, the built-in the security in Windows is honestly pretty good.
Whoa, while loading in, there was a huge power draw spike on the CPU. It's stabilized now, we're running about 60-ish watts, which is fine. But those power draw spikes are part of the issue with these CPUs, so I'm really curious to see kind of stability-wise what's going to be happening here. But other than that, the game is running very well. This is Counter-Strike 2 at 1080p low settings, and it's an esports title, so obviously we're getting a lot of frame rate. But even if you have a super high refresh rate monitor, this is going to go very well, which makes sense. It's not a very demanding game. Now, on the note of the whole CPU explosion issue, there is an updated firmware for this system on Asus's website with the microcode, which according to Intel helps with the issue a lot. The problem is, who installs firmware updates on an OEM pre-built they bought at Best Buy? And the Best Buy employee that sold Anna the system didn't mention the problem. So if you don't know what you're looking for and stuff starts being unstable, what are you gonna do with this system? And going by the recent controversy, Asus's customers...
You're going to take it into the Best Buy repair shop and they're going to overcharge you to tell you you're fucked. Or install the microcode. And then tell you you're fucked anyway.
support isn't gonna help much. Basically, the point that I'm getting to here is that Intel's dominance in the OEM pre-built space potentially screws over a whole bunch of non-hardware enthusiast gamers. But let's try some more games to see if the problem surfaces on this system. Next, I fired up some Doom Eternal at 1080p Ultra settings, which was giving us some hella frame rate. And more importantly, I didn't see any worrying power draw spikes on the CPU. And then jumping the resolution up to 1440p didn't lose us that much frame rate. Also, look at the temperatures, they're really good, and the system was running very quietly.
That's pretty solid.
To the older Gen 1 in a second, but first let's check out Cyberpunk. I haven't seen Cyberpunk run properly in a long time, but here...
If you've seen some of his older videos, you'd understand that.
We are hovering around 90 frames per second. It does occasionally...
I might have to spend a couple hour or two watching some of his older videos.
Even with a demanding game like Cyberpunk, although I still feel like we would have gotten better performance if they swapped the faster CPU out for a faster GPU at this price point. And the temperatures and noise are very under control. Definitely a decent step up from the previous generation. After an extended play session, the new system was running about 10 degrees cooler than the old one, and much quieter.
Damn.
More than a 10 dB decrease in noise is massive. And in
Yes, it
in terms of
is.
stability, the 3 days I was testing the system, it was running games pretty much constantly, and I didn't have any issues with it. But that's not very long, and it doesn't mean it doesn't have problems. So if you have an OEM pre-built with an Intel CPU in it, even if you're not having problems, go and find a firmware update for it now and download it just to be safe. So with that, what did we learn in today's video? Well, if your granny buys you an OEM pre-built in 2024, it seems at least 13% less likely to eject VX gas at you, which is definitely an improvement. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, bye-bye. It's been so long since I last covered a main...
Stop. I do actually, in fact, want to subscribe to your channel. So. Alright. God, what time is it? Okay, it's about that time. So, thanks, David. That was an amusing little video to take us out on. Go ahead. Head back on over to post stream, and I don't know why my chat window is so see-through over here. That's going to be something I'm going to have to fix. But anyway, yeah, this is something the first time I've actually just kind of gone through, read, and talked about some articles, and watched a little bit of a reaction to a video. I do actually enjoy David. He's actually really funny and amusing, and there's actually a few other channels I'm gonna watch, and there's some of those videos are gonna be a little bit longer. But for today, I just kind of wanted to try out this. Well, I don't want to say format, but format. I mean, yeah, just kind of read and talking about the news and. Video game news, at least, and stuff. That's just not something I've really done, and wanted to give it a try and see how it goes. And honestly, I thought it was fun. Yeah, if I could talk straight, I honestly thought it was kind of fun. Get some opinions, give my opinions on some stuff. Read some just questionable things, some things I agreed with. Some leaps, I think, at best, with the, Astrobot Mario comparison. I think that's just really stretching it. But anyway, I'm glad you joined me for this afternoon. Just kind of chill and chat. My next stream will definitely be Friday evening, and that is going to be Fallout. So, and I am looking forward to that, because I am enjoying Fallout 3. I enjoy Fallout 3. I just find it more enjoyable than 4. I'm still trying to figure this out, but maybe by the time I get to the end of Fallout 3, I'll have a solid answer. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I will see you. I'll see y'all on Friday evening. I'll be messaging that out and actually trying to get my schedule actually figured out and posted. So, but I hope y'all have enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope the rest of your week doesn't go horribly. And I will see you later. Take care.